to get into Week 8 predictions. Every pick for every game. Let's go.
I'll start with tonight's game. Okay, no, I was looking at the wrong thing. Okay, we're good now. Tampa Bay at Buffalo. To me, Tampa's I don't want to say like a sleeper pick here, but you're going to see a lot. I think you're going to see a lot of money. The line's at 8.5. It's come down even then. I think this is going to be closer than you think. I'll take Buffalo to win, but I think it's going to be closer than you think. I'll go with the Bills, but to me, it's not like a resounding Buffalo.
Yeah, I mean, they have underperformed the last couple of weeks. So, like, what do we have to go on to say that they're
and Baker's been good. Baker's been competent. The last 2 weeks he's been a little shaky, but Baker's been competent.
Yeah, I mean, I could see it being a closer game than a lot of people see, but I definitely see Buffalo winning this.
No, Buffalo's going to win.
Yeah.
Philadelphia at Washington. I'll go ahead and take the Eagles. They're the more physical team. They're the more disciplined team. They have the better defense, despite Washington having a defensive coach and a ton of first-round picks. They've been underwhelming as well. I think Philly's better top to bottom.
Yeah, Philly.
Front office, coaching staff, everybody.
Washington is just not in a place where they're ready to beat this. And especially with the brotherly shove, you're going to see a lot of yards gained that way, too.
Sirianni brought up a good point. It's like it's 1st and 9. Like, it's not 1st and 10. Because all you have to do is get 9 yards, and you know you're going to convert.
Well, they've been getting 3 to 4 on every one of those plays. It's like
wild.
1st and 7 every time they start.
Yeah. Vikings at the Packers. The Vikings are a better team. They're the side here. Kirk Cousins is... I mean, look, the Jordan Love, I know it's only 6 games in. To me, I've seen enough. I don't think he's that guy.
I think people were way too high on him.
Oh, yeah. And
way too many expectations.
And Kirk Cousins has actually been very good at Lambeau in his career. Not a lot of the divisional opponents, right? Aaron Rodgers and Favre owned that division for years. Mm-hmm. Not a lot of those divisional opponents have been good at Lambeau. He's actually one game better than 500 at Lambeau in his career for the Vikings. So I like him on the road to kind of keep the ball rolling for the Vikings.
Yeah, I think it's going to go 2 games above 500 there at Lambeau for good old Kirk.
Rams and Cowboys. Look, Cowboys coming off a bye. Look, I don't think they're great, but off a bye, the Rams. Pittsburgh's one of those teams that's a physical game. Like you feel that for a week.
Yeah, you get beat up.
I think the more rested team at home. I think the line is actually interesting. It's 6.5 for Dallas. That's an interesting line. I don't know which side I would be on. That's not in the bets on a budget, but that to me that the Cowboys are the side here.
Yeah, Cowboys for sure. I think that their offensive weapons and their defense is sort of undeniable. It's just a matter of is Dak going to lose is Dak going to screw the game for you?
It's weird. Both the teams in the NFC East I feel the same way about. Really talented rosters.
Jalen and Dak.
No, I think Philly's better, but it's like, do Jalen and Dak make the big mistake? Yes or no? If it's no, then you probably win the game.
Yeah.
That's just kind of it. Saints at the Colts, our first split here. You're going to go and take the visiting New Orleans Saints. They've burned me too many times. I can't put my faith in Derek Carr. And I saw Gardner Minshew be wildly productive against a historically good Browns defense. I'm going to take the Colts. I think Shane Steichen is an evil genius at play caller. I think Minshew is plenty good enough. They run the football, control the line of scrimmage. Pittman and Pierce on the outside are good enough. Josh Downs is emerging. And their defense, although it can get exposed a little bit, is better than people give it credit for. I think the Colts are a much better football team than New Orleans right now.
Yeah, I'm going to take New Orleans here. Now, I'm not a big fan of how Carr has been playing up until this point, but I mean, yes, I can acknowledge that Minshew has been a really good backup, but I think his luck has to run out at some point, right? Like, I don't see him playing all that great every single week, and especially against a pretty good defense in New Orleans.
Yeah.
I think it could get ugly for the Colts, and it's
fair.
To me, it's more of a pick'em game.
Yeah, no, I mean, it is. Indianapolis favored by a point, so.
I mean, I'll take the Saints.
Texans at the Panthers, another split here. I'm going to take the upset of the week here. The Panthers, to me, at 0-6, I think they get their first win at home. Look, I like Houston, but to me, like, this is almost one of those something's got to give. And I think Bryce Young, you've been seeing him kind of put it together the last couple weeks. He's looked better and better each week. Coming off a bye, the Panthers are. I think they're a better football team. Or they're not a better football team. I think this is a better spot for them than for the Texans. They're at home. C.J. Stroud's coming in. They're also off of a bye. But generally, offensive coaches off a bye. Frank Reich are better than defensive coaches off a bye. D'Amico Ryans. I'll take the Panthers to win in a little bit of a chess match. 17-16, upset of the week.
Now, while I can admit that they have been kind of playing a little bit better and they are due to win a game, I just don't think it's this one. I think Houston is going to start I mean, they're already above expectations and what we thought they would be. C.J. Stroud is a very good and competent quarterback, and he has, I think, a lot of special potential.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of banking on that and the Texans to kind of stay at that level that they've been at, because unless Carolina makes some crazy rise up to that level, I don't see them winning this week. And I see that more of as an anomaly, and the stats aren't really in that favor.
Fair point. Another split here. Jags at the Steelers. I'm going to go ahead and fade the Steelers again. It bites me in the ass every time. I'm just going to keep doing it until it works. Look, I'm getting the better coach in terms of offense. It's an offensive league in 2023. I'm getting the better coach right now. I like Tomlin. I like Tomlin a lot. With a with a worse roster, Doug Peterson's winning more consistently. And in an offensive league, he's on the right side of the ball. I get a better coach. I get a better quarterback. I get better skill position players. I get not a better defense, but a good enough defense against this pop gun of an offense that is Pittsburgh. I'll take the Jags to win. Still fairly close. I'll go 21-20 Jags.
Yeah, I don't want to get... I'm never going to be the Steelers fan that is overzealous with the expectations. I understand what they are, but at the end of the day, you have to recognize the fact that the offense did look better in the second half of that game on Sunday. So I think there are some things that are starting to click in Pittsburgh, and I don't think, Matt Canada doesn't have much to do with it. The play calling has been slightly better, but I also think everybody's just finally starting to gel. And I expect that Pittsburgh defense to absolutely rip to shreds that Jacksonville offense. And we've seen the Steelers do this to so many teams. And the perfect example are the Ravens and the Rams. I mean, two pretty
very
decent
good
offenses,
yeah.
Couldn't get anything going against this front and against that secondary with Minka and Joey Porter Jr. coming into his own. So I like the Steelers here in a very, very tight game, but I like the Steelers.
It's certainly... I don't hate the idea. Patriots at the Dolphins. I think the Dolphins are a better team. I think the only reason you'd watch this is if you're going to bet the line, which is 9.5 Miami, and we'll get to that in a second. But I think they're a better football team. I think they win. Unless
you're like a big Alabama fan too. And
Mac Jones and Tua.
Yeah, that's about it.
Jets at the Giants. We are split on this one. I'm going to go and take the Jets. Look, I like Tyrod Taylor. I think it's, night and later that night in terms of, Zach Wilson and Tyrod. I think Tyrod's a safer quarterback, but I think the ceiling's a little bit higher with Zach.
Zach has a better arm, I would say.
Yeah, Zach has a better arm. I think there's an argument that down the field he's a little bit more accurate, although Tyrod's been pushing the ball and he's looked good doing it. Look, I get a better defense, a better run game. I will take the Jets over the Giants. You're going to take the Giants.
Yeah, like you said, Tyrod is just a little bit safer, and I like that accuracy that he's able to provide. I think it fits in well. It's going to be a test. The Jets' defense is no joke. Tyrod is going to really have to strap it on and play well this week. Now, I don't know how it ends up shaking out, but I just don't trust the Jets. I still see them as that same old Jets team, and they play a lot like it, especially with a quarterback that's not all that special, that has a tendency to lose games for you. I'm just going to go Giants here on a leap of faith.
It's a fair point. Falcons, Titans, I'm going to take the Falcons. I get a more consistent team. I don't know what I'm getting with Tennessee. I don't even know if Tannehill's going to play, and if he does, he's 2 touchdowns, 6 picks on the year. It's
Tennessee's burned me too many times. I can't take them.
I can't. I don't bet Atlanta either, and I'm not putting any scratch on this, just for predictions. And here's the thing. I was thinking about taking Tennessee, but I just know if I do, Atlanta's going to burn me again. And I won't even pick them, and they'll burn me. So I'm going to go ahead and take Atlanta just for safety precautions.
Yeah, it's bad when we're both picking Atlanta.
Yeah, 5th split here. Browns at the Seahawks. You're going to take the Browns. You like their front against Seattle. I think it's a fair point.
Love that defense.
I just think Seattle, conversely, their secondary. I mean, who gets open for Cleveland? I like Amari Cooper. He was almost a non-factor in that game against the Colts. I mean, outside of him, who gets open? I don't know if anybody does. So I have major concern about the Browns' offense as well. And I think Seattle, with a more experienced coach, more experienced quarterbacks, I think P.J. Walker will probably end up playing, although Deshaun passed concussion protocol, so we'll see. I think Seattle's the side. I'll take them, especially at home. But I do see argument for the Browns. Go ahead and lay it out for me.
I'm going Cleveland. Defensive game. It's going to be tight. It's going to be very physical.
Score prediction?
Maybe like a 17-13 13 type
Ooh,
game. It's
I
going to
was
be
thinking that, except reverse. I'm going to go for Seattle. You're going to do that for Cleveland.
Yeah, I just think at the end of the day, you're probably going to see a defensive touchdown for Cleveland. They're really good at getting turnovers. I don't think they're going to give Seattle too much time with the ball.
I'm going to actually go 16-13.
16-13, a little different there.
A little bit different. Anyway, Chiefs at the Broncos. Chiefs are a better team. They're going to win.
Yeah, that one doesn't need talked about all that much.
They've won 6 straight.
The Broncos are absolutely
abysmal.
Horrendous. Yeah.
Bengals at the Niners. Now, I thought about this, but I think the Niners are the side here, being at home. And what are the odds a Kyle Shanahan team loses 3 straight?
Not very high.
They lost 2 on the road.
Yeah.
Okay, it's hard to win on the road in the NFL.
Yeah.
Like I feel like coming back home.
You come back
I know the
home.
Bengals are off a bye. I know Burrow's going to be healthier. I think the Niners are a better team.
I think the Niners are a better team, and I think when you have to
With that
travel across
hunger,
country too,
yeah.
that's an added
tough.
stress.
It's
an added
tough.
stress.
Ravens at the Cardinals. Ravens are. There's an argument for the best team in the AFC. I think they're number 2, but definitely better than the Cardinals. I'll take them.
The Cardinals have returned back to what they are and
What we
what
thought
they would be. Yeah.
They are who we thought they were. Shout out the one Cardinals coach with something green. I don't know, whatever. Remember that clip? Yeah. Man.
Yeah.
Chicago at the Chargers. I'll take the Chargers.
Chargers. I'm not picking
Tyson
the Bears.
Bagent. Are we kidding? Or if Justin Fields comes back either.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Raiders at the Lions. Lions are a much better team. Good teams that lose always come back strong. They lost to Seattle earlier this year and came back strong with a win. I think same thing here. They get humiliated. They come back home prime time. They're going to be playing inspired football. They'll beat the Raiders but I think pretty handily by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah. The Raiders don't stand much of a chance here, I would say.
Love it.
What are the splits?
All right, splits. I have the Colts. You have the Saints. I'll take the Panthers. You take the Texans. I will once again fade the Steelers and take the Jags. You'll take the Steelers. I got the Jets. You got the Giants. And I will take Seattle. You'll take Cleveland.
Love it. All right, guys.